It's Monday. We leave for the Arnold in 2 days. Zach's the only one left competing. Madison's just had some hip stuff going on for like 6 months and it just is not resolving, so it's just Zach. But Zach is tapering. He's got 2 singles at 80% in both lifts. Easy. But yeah, I have to snatch 125 today. I've snatched for 7 days in a row. And every single time it's been over 120. And I'm not gonna, my back is pretty fucked up. It's not feeling good, but we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna snatch and then we're gonna dive into the jerk pretty heavily. So the UK boys are back. I don't know if you remember, but in the last YouTube video, the 2 Sams went crazy. The Sam versus Sam rivalry. So whatever one of you guys gets the best total gets this. A fresh watermelon Gorilla Mind base. So they attempted like 15 clean and jerks at their PR last week. Yeah, last week. Was it last week? I don't know when it was. 2 weeks ago. But I'm just trying to feel and see how many outrageous attempts they can take because it's really fun to watch. Day 8 of snatching 1 kilogram per 1,000 followers. Today we have 125 kilos because we have 125,000 followers. I'm fucking sore. My back is fucking so stiff every day.
Not bad. That's not good. He just missed the name.
That felt like fucking shit. Oh, it's easy. Nice.
That's a good.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Oh. All right. Yeah. That's it. Oh. Yeah.
I was working like my when the headbutt spot.
He stole your move. Oh, what I'm about to do is I'm just gonna run through the jerk from like the start. I'm gonna drop some cues along the way, but I'm gonna put as much information between now and the end of the video as I can without giving away too much. All right, so first with our rack position, there's a couple things we wanna make sure we're doing. First, your grip doesn't really matter. Your grip width is kind of a comfort thing, a personal preference thing. But with your grip, you should be able to have your elbows at least a little up. The elbows shouldn't be pointing straight down. The bar shouldn't be rolling down below the collarbone. We should be up in that front rack. And what I like to tell people to do is in the front rack, push the shoulders up and then forward. And this gives the bar a really good platform to rest on. And it presets your lats. So you can hold the tension in your lats when going overhead without too much of an issue. So shoulders up, forward, and then we have to find the pressure in our foot. So the pressure in our foot, a lot of coaches say heels. I don't like that at all. Like if I were to tell you to do a box jump or like try to jump up and touch the rim on a basketball hoop, do you know how stupid you would look if you went back on your heels like this and tried to jump like that? You would get nowhere. When you would jump, you would load up here. You would load up into your whole foot favoring the front of your foot. My pressure point that I like to pick is the ball of my foot. So right where my shoelaces end, that's where I like to focus the weight. And what I'll do is I'll envision the bar staying directly on top of that pressure point. So for some of you, it can be middle of the foot. For some of you, if you love it, it can be your heels. But no matter where that pressure point is, imagine the bar is staying directly on top of that. All right, the dip. People overcomplicate the dip so much, and it bothers me. No matter what you do in the dip, you are not going to gain more than 1% on your jerk. You can do all the fancy shit in the world, but I promise you, if you dip really fast and try to like time the whip to where it just slingshots off your shoulder, no matter what you do, you're not gonna gain that much in the dip. It's like thinking you're gonna squat more by being really, really fast on the way down or some shit. It doesn't make sense. So what we wanna do is keep everything, keep that bar with the pressure point in the foot, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna send the hips back just a little bit. Think of keeping the hips right on top of the heels, and the knees are gonna go forward over the toes. That's it. And you'll notice that this position right here is the exact same as our power position in the clean and our power position in the snatch. What? So you're getting to that power position. That's all you're doing, but the bar's in the front rack this time. So at the bottom of the dip, again, you don't want to turn over too fast. You don't want to hit the bottom and just slingshot out. Otherwise, the bar is going to whip down into you. So when you hit the bottom of the dip, the bar does this. It flexes, and you got to wait for it to flex back up so you can ride with it. If you just go down and then you try to push up into it, you're going to push into a bar that has downward momentum, and it's gonna feel way heavier. But if you wait for it to flex back up, it's gonna feel way lighter. All right, the drive. Now, the drive is essentially you using the legs to place the bar around forehead height. Don't think of driving as you're sending the bar as high as you possibly can. You wanna maintain your core. Yeah, you're not driving. Thanks for that. That was really good. So the drive, don't think about throwing the bar as high as you can. Think about maintaining tension in the core, maintaining your front rack position, and you're just popping the bar up to about forehead height. You're gonna do that every single time. That way, you can do the same movement every single time you do a jerk, no matter what the weight is. The only thing you have to change is the effort in the drive. The most important part of the drive is making sure that the barbell does not separate from the shoulders before the hips extend. So we extend here, the bar should still be on the shoulders. That tells us that we're actually putting power into the bar using the legs. If we don't finish the extension and the bars are already off the shoulders like this, that means you're pressing with the hands, and that means you're not jerking properly and you're losing a ton of kilos. So if that happens to you, think of relaxing the hands a little bit, maybe let the fingertips come off the bar in the dip and drive. That way you can really prioritize those legs. But the transition, like we said, we're going to forehead height. I fucking did dumbbell press earlier, so I'm shaking when I'm here. But we're driving the bar to here. A great exercise for you to focus on the transition is the tall jerk. So that's literally where we'll take the bar, we'll put it here, and we'll just punch under. So if you suck at the transition, do a ton of these tall jerks. Dip, drive to here, punch. The goal of the transition is to make sure that we are catching the bar at the peak. When we drive it, there's gonna be a point where the bar is rising, and there's gonna be a point where the bar is falling. If we catch it in between those two, when the bar is just kind of stagnant in the air, when it's weightless, that's when we'll actually be able to catch the bar and brace against it. If we catch it on the way down, then we are fucked. Because it's a difference between receiving a barbell that is floating and trying to stop your max jerk while it's falling down on top of you. So you need to move your feet fast and catch the bar at the peak. For your catch position, this is super simple. People overcomplicate the catch position in the jerks, and I know some weightlifters don't do this. Just trust me, these are the basics that you should do. When we're in the split position, first of all, we want our hips to be square, facing forward. We don't want to be open like this because there's no stability here. I'm wobbling all over the place. If we take the hips, make sure they're pointed forward, and that back glute's active, we're locked in. The hips should always be directly underneath the shoulders. We should never be leaning forward like this, because when the bar's overhead and we decide to lean forward, that shoulder joint has to open up, and the more open a joint is, the less stable it is. Next, in the jerk, we should have about an equal amount of bend in both legs. I know that's a weird concept because you think of loading up this front leg, but if we have equal amount of bend in both legs and we have the hips directly underneath the shoulders, naturally, we're gonna have 50% of the weight in both feet. That has to happen here. So if we have 50% of the weight in both feet, we are correct. If not, you need to take a video from the side, maybe see which leg is bent more, and then kind of assess from there. And finally, the recovery. When we recover, first thing is don't let your fucking air out until the bar is on its way to the floor. I've seen so many people like recover and then they'll just fucking scream. Keep your breath in your stomach before or until the bar is out of your hands. Then you can do whatever the hell you want, but keep your breath in, Front leg comes back first and we're pushing straight up. So notice how the hips, they just go straight up when we do this. If we bring the back foot forward first, the hips shift forward and that puts us there. So we're braced, back leg comes forward, and then we're in a shallow enough split to where we can make that step to bring the back leg up to meet the front leg. But that's it. The main thing about all this is that you get your brace before you start the jerk and you do not let go of your brace until the jerk is over. If you scream and you miss a lift, that is going to be way worse than just missing the lift. If you get amped up and you're like, yes, I made this, and you start screaming before you've made it and you fall, you know how embarrassed you're gonna be? I would rather bomb at nationals again than do that. But keep your brace, don't lose your brace. I'm telling you, there's way too many missed jerks out there because people lose their brace. If you want more information on the jerk, I just gave you guys like a quick run through of pretty much the things that are the most important, but there's still way more to it. If you want more cues, the technique manual is the first link in the bio. Click that, it's gonna give you everything you need. As far as cues go, every stage that we just went through, there's cues, there's errors, there's everything. So if you're having a bad session, you can just open up the technique manual, find the position, find the issue that you're having, and fix it. But that is today's video. That's the instructional for the jerk. If there's a part of the jerk or part of any lift that you want me to break down a little bit further, we can go into that. I'll do a video where we'll run through every exercise we need to do. I want to hear what you guys want to see. I can definitely get more instructional and give more guidance than I could when I was training hard. Not training hard kind of gives me more time to cater to what you guys want to see. So let me know, put it in the comments. Use all those links. Barbell apparel, we're about to drop some cool stuff, so be on the lookout for that. Gorilla Mind supplements, one of those guys won it. I think it was Tall Sam. You won, right? Yeah, he won the pre-workout. Gorilla Mind base, it's the best shit in the world. And Onyx straps. Leather straps, they last forever, and they're the most comfortable straps you'll ever wear. If you are using a different pair of straps, like in the last video and you saw Zach get stuck, like that's bound to happen to you. Like it's just a matter of time. Get some Onyx straps and you'll be fine. If you have Onyx straps, nothing will go wrong. So discount code Dozer for Onyx, Gorilla Mind, the barbell link's down there, and get the technique manual. And if you've done all that, the last thing for you to do is join the dog pack. We're deloading next week, which could be a good introductory week for you. And after that, we are starting a brand new training cycle, big 12-week phase. So there is no better time to join the dog pack than now.